Politico published a report today showing the record amount of money Republican groups will spend to get Romney elected into the Oval Office. According to sources within the groups, Republican super PACs and other outside groups plan to spend roughly $1 billion on November's elections to win the White House and get control of the Congress. Now, to put this in perspective, in 2008, John McCain raised $370 million. Barack Obama set records by raising $750 million. The money being spent by the Koch brothers is going to be $400 million more than McCain's entire presidential campaign. The two Koch brothers will write checks equal to or double the amount raised by organized labor. I'm joined tonight by Robert Greenwald, founder and president of Brave New Films and the director of the Koch brothers film Exposed, and former Congressman Tom Perriello. He is now the president and CEO of the Center for American Progress Action Fund. Gentlemen, great to have you with us tonight. Robert, you first. Are Republicans, are they just setting up a system to make sure that, hell, we're never going to have another Democratic president? I mean, this is it. This is the template for making sure that a Democrat never goes to the White House again. Or is that too extreme from my part?
Well, maybe not extreme, but maybe too pessimistic, Ed. What they are trying to do, they're trying to use the billionaires who are behind them to buy the election. Fortunately, the election is not for sale. And as you said, there's lots that each and every one of us can do and must do. But I also think it's important to understand exactly what they're doing and exactly why they're doing it, because it is, in fact, legalized bribery. These billionaires are paying for policies so they can make more $1 billion, so that there are no restrictions on any kind, so that they get greater tax breaks, so that they can further pollute or they can further destroy the country in whatever ways increase their profitability. It's not off the charts is a reason for it. They put money into candidates and they take things out.
Tom, is outspending by Republicans going to be the main challenge in virtually every race in this election?
Well, I think the combination of the attack on voting rights and the sale of our democracy to the highest bidder is really a 1-2 punch right to the gut of the middle class. And as was noted earlier, this isn't some ideological battle. This is a return on investment, where we're talking about a yacht full of billionaires who are going to get 40 to 1, 100 to 1 in special tax breaks to themselves. And who picks up the tab for that? It's the middle class. It's the American worker. And so we already have an economy that's rigged against the middle class. They're now trying to lock that into a political system that's rigged against the middle class.
So, Tom, how do you fight it? You got to go right to the heart of the people, because you're not going to be able to match the money.
Well, I think people are rising up and realizing just how rigged the system is, and they realize that people power is the right response to this, to go and get informed, find out who these people are that are funneling in the agenda that they want. And you see time and again that working and middle-class folks feel like they've been sold a bale of goods by the Republicans. And they want to stand up and say, hey, what's in this for us? What's something that actually starts to bring good jobs back and the competitive advantage of America back? And I think they're seeing that now in a good progressive agenda.
You know what amazes me, Robert, is that, why aren't there a lot of big money donors supporting President Obama like they did in 2008? They must know what the landscape looks like right now. Are they that disenchanted with the president?
Well, I think some are disenchanted, Ed, but I also think it's a lot easier psychologically to put $1 million in knowing you're going to get 10 or 15 or $100 million out in return.
Sure.
Progressive donors are actually working against their own narrow economic self-interest, but they're working for the betterment of the country because they believe that, in fact, the country needs to be strong, everyone needs to prosper, there needs to be job and all those kinds of good things. So I think you're seeing some of that, but ultimately, everyone knows that we can't outspend them, which is why, again, it's important that the policy that has money in politics be attacked, whether it's the constitutional amendment or it's the laws of disclosure. We have to go at the source and say we cannot allow ourselves to have a system where billions and billions can be put in with no consequences.
And, Tom, if Romney ends up being a weak candidate down the stretch, what will these PACs do with all the money? I mean, it'll be just an onslaught on President Obama.
Well, you saw Mitt Romney as a weak candidate in the primary, and you saw what happened. It was the independent expenditures that came in and outspent 4-to-1, 7-to-1, 8-to-1, and he still only eked out these primaries by 3 or 4 points in a lot of the key Midwestern states, because working and middle-class votes looked at him and looked at his agenda and said, this isn't for us. And so these so-called independent groups had to come in and bail him out, and I think you'll see that again. You're also going to see that down ticket in some of these House and Senate races that are going to play out this way. And I think, unfortunately, that amount of money really can have a huge effect on the flow of information. But voters are smart and decent, and I think they'll overcome this.
This will be the year of displaying heart by progressives. Just how bad do you want it? Robert Greenwald, Tom Perriello, great to have you with us tonight. Thank you.